Well, you may find it hard to travel if you don't have a car. More than 1 million vehicles per year continue to be stolen in the U.S. That's according to the latest stats from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
But what happens to those cars after a crime or a wild joyride? As Elizabeth Matthews found out in tonight's special report, you could end up buying one without knowing it.
So I obtained an arrest warrant through the Illinois Attorney General's office for a female by the name of Jocelyn Buster.
Joliet Police Detective Jeffrey Derman is leading the search to find the 27-year-old Joliet woman.
So she is buying vehicles from dealerships using a stolen identity, obtaining a car loan using that stolen identity, and eventually she'll sell that car to an unsuspecting person, usually through social media, for cash.
In the end, that deal adds up to no cash and no car for the consumer.
Eventually, that person that buys that vehicle will likely lose a vehicle because the bank will eventually find out that the car was purchased fraudulently and the title was not valid.
Let me tell you guys why a lot of you are absolutely crazy buying a car off Facebook Marketplace. You'll spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 on a Facebook Marketplace car, but you won't spend $40 to buy a Carfax on it.
The illegal sale of stolen vehicles through social media platforms has become a rapidly growing issue across the United States. Organized networks and straight-up scammers are exploiting digital marketplaces to advertise and sell cars that were acquired unlawfully, often within hours of being stolen. Buyers lured by attractive prices or unknowingly defrauded out of thousands of dollars, only to later discover the vehicle was reported stolen and improperly titled. This crime not only affects individual victims, but also businesses. Increasingly, stolen vehicles are linked to broader criminal enterprises, including identity theft, document forgery, and trafficking in fake vehicle titles and registrations. A recent report that nobody's talking about involves 2 suspected illegal immigrants. These women right here, they were caught and apprehended in Georgia in connection with their Facebook Marketplace scam.
Face the car. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
Sell a stolen car on Facebook, go to jail. That's what Gwinnett County Police say this officer's body camera captured. They say this woman allegedly tried to sell a stolen Honda CR-V to an undercover investigator through Facebook Marketplace, then tried to flee when seeing police.
Take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. All right, so we have 33-year-old Myrony Cyprian, who was reportedly living in Lawrenceville, Georgia before getting busted for selling stolen cars like they were Girl Scout cookies on Facebook Marketplace. Her partner in crime, 30-year-old Karen Mendez. Mendez linked to a condo in Midtown Miami, both women together facing nearly 70 criminal charges. Myrony Cyprian facing 40 criminal charges, mostly felony charges, as well as Karen Mendez facing nearly 30 charges, 25 of them felonies. Together, they were trafficking stolen Honda CR-Vs from New York City to Georgia, flipping them online with fake titles and altered VINs. Here's how the scam unraveled. Back in December 2024, a Gwinnett County man took his new CR-V in for routine service. That's when a sharp-eyed technician noticed the vehicle identification number looked a little off and alerted the owner. The owner contacted local law enforcement, who quickly orchestrated a sting operation. Undercover detectives reached out to Myrony Cyprian, who had more inventory to sell on social media. Those detectives posed as buyers, and Myrony, she took the bait. When she rolled up to meet the buyer, driving yet another stolen CR-V with a fake VIN, she didn't meet a buyer at all. Instead, she met Gwinnett County law enforcement.
Face the car. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
She was cuffed on the spot, arrested, and she's still sitting in jail right now, facing a whopping 40 criminal charges. But it didn't stop there. Just this week, the investigation expanded, and a second woman was arrested on Wednesday. That's 30-year-old Karen Mendez. They added 25 felony charges to her arrest record, along with misdemeanor charges, all tied to selling stolen vehicles and forging titles. Charges like theft by deception, theft by receiving stolen property, removal or falsification of motor vehicle or engine identification with intent to defraud, forgery of motor vehicle titles, and theft by receiving stolen property in another state, to name a few. The list goes on and on. This isn't Karen's first time in Gwinnett County system either. She was already arrested back in February for a probation violation. As for Myronee Cyprian, she's not just facing these state charges, but she's now got an ICE hold slapped on her, meaning immigration authorities are stepping in. In Gwinnett County Jail, they're fully cooperating with ICE.
Tonight for anyone scrolling social media to try to find a new car. Atlanta News First Alani Latang is live in Gwinnett County. And Alani, investigators say this involves Facebook Marketplace and cars stolen out of New York.
That's exactly right, Carly. So it starts with stealing the cars from New York, then selling them here under an altered VIN number on Facebook Marketplace. Police tell us they've already arrested one person accused of selling these cars deceptively. And tonight we're taking a look at that video of that arrest.
Face the car. Hands behind your back. Hands behind your back.
Sell a stolen car on Facebook, go to jail. That's what Gwinnett County police say this officer's body camera captured. They say this woman allegedly tried to sell a stolen Honda CR-V to an undercover investigator through Facebook Marketplace, then tried to flee when seeing police.
So these vehicles are being sold at around $29,000, $30,000. So they're pretty pricey. They're making out with a lot of victims' money.
Police say a large group of people are suspected of stealing different Honda CR-Vs in New York, altering the vehicle identification number or VIN, then selling them on Facebook Marketplace in Metro Atlanta. Officers got a call from one victim saying a mechanic working on his CR-V alerted him to a discrepancy in VIN numbers.
It opened the door to a lot of other victims.
Victims, including dealerships, thinking they're selling legit cars.
How easy is it for, people to overlook, dealerships to overlook?
Very easy.
Shamil Shad, the general manager at Atlanta Used Cars, says earlier this year they bought a car from a Carvana auction. After selling it, the buyer called to tell them it was stolen. Shamil says police tracked the VIN to a stolen car from Hertz rental car company. He says Carvana issued them a check after they investigated.
Saving up money for a down payment or for the whole car and purchasing it and then, being accused of stealing it from law enforcement, all of that is definitely not a very good experience at all.
Shamil says they're now triple checking the VINs on all cars they purchase, from the windshield to the door to the car's computer.
Now they're triple checking? You would think that's something they would have been doing.
There's an endless amount of ways that people can commit fraud in this business. VIN swapping is probably the most simple and the easiest to catch, but there are a lot of other crafty ways.
Police are looking for a Karen Mendez believed to be connected to this auto theft ring in Georgia. If you know her whereabouts, call 911. And some things you can do to protect yourself is make sure that you're meeting in a public place, preferably a police station. Also, have your VIN number checked out, inspected really, before making that purchase. And lastly, purchase an on-board diagnostic scanner. It's about $20 and they can find and it'll reveal the genuine VIN number from the car's computer. Reporting live in Norcross, I'm Alani Latang, Atlanta News First.
And traditional media is so janky. That's how they reported the case against these two armadillos right here, Myronee Cyprian and Karen Mendez. Myronee was arrested months ago. They showed a clip of that police footage, and as you can see, they didn't show the front. On top of that, they refused to show her mugshot. As for Karen Mendez, at the time of the news report, they had a warrant out for her arrest. The news did report that, but once again, they refused to show her mugshot too. It's not like they didn't have her old mugshot. From that previous arrest back in February, the violation of probation. I'm just trying to figure out, since when do they not share the mugshot on the news of a suspect that police were actively looking for? Isn't that strange? Yeah, if Karen Mendez was still on the loose, why didn't they throw her old mugshot up there like most criminals they're looking for? So the general public can be on the lookout. Somebody please tell me below why this reputable news station failed to follow their normal procedure. The norm for when the suspect is a Pookie or Tyrone. Well, for whatever reason, they didn't want to put Karen Mendez on blast, and I can officially confirm there is an ICE hold on the other suspect, Myronee Cyprian. It's like they wanted to shield her too. But hey, at the end of the day, even though the news didn't want to put the suspect on the loose on blast, she was caught anyway. Just yesterday, May 21st, 2025, Karen Mendez was arrested and taken into custody. This right here is her fresh new glam shot from her Gwinnett County photo shoot. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Both women right now are facing dozens of charges, nearly 70 combined. Tell me what you think about this below. Special thank you to Rob P. I appreciate you, Rob, for all of your support for the channel, as well as Donald and Samuel. You can show your support as well. The link to PayPal is below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.